Here to give you my live October Astro Tarot preview. This is Tara Green. I don't know. I can't see what's going on in Facebook. So anyway, welcome to the October Tarot Astro preview. And if you haven't been here before, Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans or other people, what I do is I'm going to read out the astrological aspects for October, and then I'm going to pull one tarot card for each of the astrology signs, starting with Aries and moving through each sign. So please, you'll have to be patient because I have to start with Aries and end with Pisces, of course. So October, we are moving from the time of Libra, justice in the tarot, to the time of Scorpio, that's death. Okay, so today, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. Today, September the 30th, where I am here in Sedona, Arizona. Venus squares Pluto, and that happens on October the 1st. So this is a pretty intense love, death, the plutocracy, good for women, kind of a resurrection. Money market should probably be following. And then things are feeling pretty intense, right? And that's because Pluto is about to turn direct. He will be actually stationary direct for the next few days until the 8th. So this is a big, huge karmic turning point. So, you know, we know in the news, there's lots of big, heavy issues. Pluto will continue to destroy, you know, the old plutocracy and renew everything. So that's at 20 degrees of Capricorn. Of course, if you have planets at 20 degrees Capricorn, Libra, Aries, or Cancer, you're going to feel that the most. Now, 3 planets change sign this month. Mercury enters Scorpio on the 3rd. So Mercury will take us down into the big, deeper emotional, mental planes here. So a lot of resurrection going on, a lot of transformation in the mind. That's good. And then Mars will enter Libra on the 3rd and on the 4th. So Mars is going to be in Venus's sign. So again, the energy, the action will be about trying to get some justice, some balance, some relationship equality going on there. Now, Mercury opposes Uranus on the 6th. So that can be great for, you know, putting in new ideas on the 7th as well. New ideas, catalyzing new initiatives, especially with the environment. Uranus and Taurus is about the environment. And then on the 7th, it's also, and the 8th, it's a little bit of a heavy day. The sun will square Saturn. You know, Saturn is the heaviest of all the planets in the solar system. Can be good to sign contracts or make commitments or break up issues with your father. Again, Saturn represents elders, senators, might be issues with elders in your family and respecting them as well. Now, on the 8th, Venus enters Scorpio. So Venus is now in Mars's sign and Mars is in Libra's sign, and that's called mutual reception. So they're actually in each other's house. So that's really a very positive energy. So again, Venus and Scorpio, very intense, very deep, very sexy, very passionate, a lot of big change. You know, Scorpio actually rules the financial market, so there can be a lot of turmoil going on there. Now, on the 8th also and the 9th, we might be feeling a little bit wounded, or it's a good time to investigate your wounds or talk about the wounds and the imbalances in relationships as Venus opposes Chiron in Aries. Okay, now, the sun also in conjunct Neptune and Pisces on the 9th. That's the 9th and the 10th, of course. Again, our dreams and what we envision in realities, the projections, you may discover, whoa, they're totally off, okay? Also, the relationship hurts continue on the 10th as Venus in conjunct Chiron. And an inconjunct is where the 2 planets are in 2 different elements. They can't see each other. So this may come up from the underground. You know, Venus and Scorpio is all about the underground, the unconscious, and in dreams as well. Very much pay attention to your dreams on that night because the moon will be in Pisces. Now, Mars also in conjunct Uranus on the 12th. Again, this is chaotic energy. Things are kind of all over the place. Venus also in conjunct Uranus on the 12th and the 13th. So again, Venus in Scorpio, sexuality, finances, again, market going up and down. Uranus and Taurus. Taurus is the stock market. Actually was the US stock market was founded under Taurus. Nice day on the 13th. It's a full moon, 20 degrees Aries, but it's very intense because it's also squaring Pluto, which is exact on the 14th. The sun and Jupiter make a nice sextile, and sextiles are nice, sweet 60-degree aspects, good to plan travels on that day or to connect with long-distance relationships. Mercury sextile Saturn, that's also a nice aspect on the 13th and the 14th. for getting serious, mental things put together, or talking to others. And then on the 14th, Sun square Pluto. So, kind of continuing from the energy of Pluto turning direct, again, another kind of, where are we? Justice, plutocracy. We've seen all this climate change activation in the world that'll continue to intensify. And remember that as Pluto turns direct, it is inexorably marching to its date with destiny, the karmic showdown point on January the 12th, 2020. So things will be feeling more and more intense. Now, on the 15th, a nice aspect, creative aspect, Mercury trines Neptune in Pisces, very spiritual, good for plunging into your psyche, for doing a lot of transformative work. Again, on the, where are we? On the 19th and the 20th, Mercury sextiles Pluto on the 19th, Venus sextiles Saturn on the 20th. So those are nice aspects, easy aspects. We got to blend the Venus, the hard with the easy here. Now, on the 21st, Venus trines Neptune. Now, Venus rules human love, Neptune rules the higher octave of Venus. So when they are in a nice trine, that's a beautiful, romantic, idealistic, extremely creative, good for visualization because you're connected with your deepest soul desires and you can put them out there. So it's a great day to do ceremony. The sun will enter Scorpio, of course, on the 23rd. So we're getting really deep into Scorpio territory here. What else? Venus sextiles Pluto on the 25th. The sun will in conjunct Chiron in Aries as well on the 25th. That's always kind of working with the wounded healer shaman. On the 27th, there's a new moon at 4 degrees of Scorpio with Mars squaring Saturn. Now, those two planets, Mars and Saturn, are considered to be what they call the great malefics. They're considered to be the hardest, most difficult planet. So that new moon, I think we should get prepared for it. Also, Mercury is going to turn retrograde a few days later, right at the end of the month. So pretty intense there, new moon, but a good time for new beginnings, for resurrections, for letting go, for rising like the phoenix. On the 28th, it's going to be pretty chaotic, and that energy also affects the new moon there as the sun opposes Uranus in Taurus. So you may see, again, more worldwide revelations and protests. Mars in conjuncts Neptune on that day again. So, be careful about what you project on your relationships and what's really happening. On the 30th, Mercury in Scorpio conjuncts Venus, and that's a nice aspect. You can really speak from your soul. You can, the psyche is going to reveal a lot of its riches, beautiful contents. And then on the 31st, which is Halloween, Mercury turns retrograde. Okay, and you all know what that means. Okay, so just pay attention, to how these planets are affecting you personally. Okay, so now we're going to get on to, it's always intense, right? We're going to get on to the cards for each one of you. So starting with Aries, I have my special crystal here. I cleanse the cards. I call upon my higher guides here. So Aries, what is the advice you're going to need this month, especially you are being affected by Pluto very strongly right now. And the node. Sun is also conjunct the North Node. I wanted to mention this at 12 and 13 degrees of Cancer, which is connected to the fixed star Sirius, the most beautiful and brightest planet visible. And it's also connected to the U.S. Sun. So, some major stuff's going down with the U.S. Okay. All right. Now, Aries. All right. So you get the card of the universe here. Now, the number 21, the universe. Now, this is not the traditional tarot deck. This is my old, well-used, as you can see, Thoth Tarot. So the number 21, the universe or the world, indicates you need to get the karmic lesson. You need to go, okay, I take responsibility, Aries, for everything that I've done. This is Pluto also nailing you to the cross here. I take responsibility for creating everything in my life, and then I'm free. Now, this card is also associated with Saturn, and as we know, Saturn is also squaring a lot of you as well. And so you have to kind of be mature, take responsibility, admit where you were wrong, grow up a little bit, Aries, and then you can move on to brand new lessons. So this is a good one. It's also good. Saturn rules career, again, issues with fathers, seniors, all of that stuff. So you could get a raise. It could be a positive thing, but you're ready to step off into a brand new adventure. So Aries, the universe. Okay. Now, I can't see you out there again if you're commenting. I wish I could on Facebook. All right, so Taurus, let's see what Taurus gets. Now, of course, as Uranus is retrograde in early degrees of Taurus, you know, a lot of you early born Taurians are definitely feeling that. Okay, so Taurus, you get the number 9 here, the Hermit, which is, you know, nicely associated with you elementally. It relates to the sign of Virgo, so that's earth element. So you need to be alone. The Hermit, a lot of women fear this card because they don't like to be alone, but the Hermit is very wise and very protective. The Hermit's lamp that he holds out is actually very protective. So if you're feeling in the dark, you're never really alone if you work with the Hermit. He's very wise. As a Virgo energy, he gives you the ability to discriminate, to analyze, to organize. It might be a good time to clean out, to a Marie Kondo kind of energy, clean out, be humble. You know, maybe you need to do some work in your community. That's Virgo. Change your diet. You know, if you've been spending too much money, that's something that Tauruses love to do. You know, maybe this is where you need to rein in those instincts. Okay, so the Hermit. Okay, go within. All the answers are deep within. You have great gut instincts, Taurus. Really use them. It's a time of major change in your life, like it or not. The cosmic cattle prod, Uranus and Taurus, is making you change. So just listen to your own instincts, your own inner wisdom. The Hermit is very wise, protective energy, and you'll be great. Okay, so the Hermit, Taurus. Okay, so now Gemini. So Gemini, you know, you've got Jupiter opposite your sign till December this year, so that's a good thing. Well, we're almost at the end of Jupiter and Sag, actually. Okay, so Geminis. Okay, now I did decide I have to listen to my intuition here. When I'm in Sedona, my intuition is way high up. Okay, so usually I use the 22 major arcana. I have put in 2 extra cards this time because my intuition said, use those cards. So Gemini, you get the card. Okay, one of them. Anyway, so Geminis, you get the card called the Wishing card. Now, this is the 9 of Cups, and that's very much in line with Jupiter, which is, you know, Jupiter's like Santa Claus, and he's the big benefactor. So Geminis, be very, very careful what you wish for, okay? I know some of you are being affected by Neptune in Pisces, squaring your sign, so you got to be careful here. This is very Piscean. In fact, it's Jupiter in Pisces energy, very Piscean, very over the top. So be careful that you're not projecting too much. There's definitely a time of giving, Geminis. You need to give yourself emotionally to others. If you really want to be happy, you need to invest emotionally in what do other people need, okay? What do they need? The more you give to others, the more you can receive. Again, you get like 9 wishes. I'm your fairy godmother here, Gemini. You get 9 wishes. Think about it. I would wait until, you know, the new moon to really put those energies out there. But think about what your 9 wishes would be, Gemini. Okay? All right. So Cancer, of course, Cancer with the North Node in Cancer right now. Cancers, you're kind of leading the way and you're telling all of us what we need in terms of emotional nurturing and safety and comfort and food, of course, and our tummies want to be satisfied, and children and home. Okay, so Cancer, yes, Pluto opposite your sign. Okay, so Cancers, you get the card of the Hangman here. I know these cards might be a little hard to see. They're well loved and well used. So the Hangman, number 12. Now this is a very powerful card, Cancer, and it is kind of considered to be an emotional baptism, which is very much in line with Cancerian water, of course, the ocean, the womb, the unconscious. It is associated with the sign of Pisces, actually, and actually the planet Neptune, not Pisces, the planet Neptune. So this is about letting go, surrendering. You know, I give it up to God. You know, I let the universe take care of it. You know, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to nurture everybody. I don't have to feed the world. I'm going to trust that the great goddess, in a way, the great mother, will take care of it. So it's also a card about not being a martyr. Okay. The Hangman, he's hung upside down by his ankle. It's God Odin on purpose to get new knowledge. So turning the normal head, you know, upright consciousness, masculine consciousness downward into the earth or into the waters of the emotion of Cancer. That's where you live. So this is good. So, you know, listen to your instincts, listen to your feelings. Don't be a martyr, though. You have to learn to set boundaries and you have to learn to receive. So you may get hung up with stuff. Wherever you're hung up, pay attention. This is the universe trying to tell you to let go. Just keep letting go. Okay. Surrender, trust. It's a cleansing, a baptism. It's really beautiful. Okay, you don't have to carry the world around on your shoulders, Cancer. Okay, so the Hangman, number 12. Okay. All right, so Leo, we're moving right along here. Okay, so Leo, of course, Jupiter is giving you some nice energy right now. Chiron is making you hurt a little bit for early Leos. Okay, so Leo, you get the number 14 here. Traditionally, this card in the Rider-Waite Tarot, which is the most popular one in the world, is called Temperance. In this deck and the Thoth deck, it's called Art or Alchemy. So Leos, you need to balance your inner masculine and your inner feminine energies here. Okay, Temperance. Temperance means, you know, it's like how you create new metals by combining two different things to create a third. So this is a very creative energy, Leo. Use Jupiter's energy. This card is associated with Sagittarius as well. So that's Jupiter. There are big benefits for you right now. So use them, you know, use them while Jupiter is in Sagittarius. This card is also called the Sacred Marriage card. That was what I was taught, and I like that application to this card. So it is about, you know, it's a higher octave of the lovers. You know, I know you kind of love yourselves, Leo, all the time. You know, sometimes in vain, I got to admit that, but this is a real, true inner marriage and inner balance. So can bring great happiness in relationships right now, can be abundance. You know, this is turning lead into gold, abundance. You know, lead is Saturn, the gold is the sun. Turning lead into gold. So a big transformation. You can work alchemy, you know, whatever you touch turns to gold, and gold is your metal, Leo. You are ruled by the sun. So do some good. Be very creative, put the word out there, you know, be strong in your will, change the world. Okay, Leo, number 14, Temperance, but make sure you keep it in balance. That's Temperance, don't overdo it. Okay, so Virgo, all right, of course, Neptune is opposite your sign. Saturn and Capricorn are trining you, giving you more groundedness. Okay, so Virgo, you get the Tower. Okay, so the Tower is always a difficult card, number 16. It is a wake-up card, though, so it's good, Virgo, for you to wake up. You know, if you don't wake up voluntarily, then you know what happens. The universe has to send you a big shockwave to wake you up. You know, this was literally the Tower at 9/11, with all respect to the innocent people who lost their lives there. This was cosmically, archetypally, you know, America getting that shock, having the Tower 9/11 come down. So it's Mars energy. It is anger, you know, whatever anger you've been holding back, Virgo, you need to let it out. It can impact your health. And I know you usually worry about your health. So this is about, you know, the old structure needs to collapse. So this can indicate, you know, a move, a change in your job, a change in your health. I mean, it can be very liberating. It is the shock of awakening the third eye, your own inner vision. So trusting that things are not what they seem, just on the material plane. Virgos get very focused on the material plane. This is like, wow, there's a whole other universe out there. So restructure whatever way you can. Use your energy for major change in your life. Don't get stuck in a rut. Don't be afraid to change. This can be a lot of energy too. It might be a good time to take martial arts. That's a really great way to vent anger, okay? I mean, especially for a lot of Virgos, if you have Neptune, you know, people born in the last, you know, 10, 12 days of Virgo are really feeling that Neptune energy. You need to stay grounded, stay in your body, move that anger out. You know, stop, don't be lost in the illusion. Okay, so Virgo, you get the Tower. Okay, the Tower of Power. Okay, so Libras. Okay, so Libra. All right. Of course, you're getting Pluto squaring you and Saturn too. So for a lot of you, that can be, you know, making relationship stuff difficult. Okay, so Libra, you do get the 7, which is called the Chariot in the tarot. Now, this is like the sign of Cancer. So again, as Pluto's turning direct and then stationary direct, for a lot of you, you need to get in the driver's seat emotionally. That's what this card is depicting. Now, a lot of the tarot cards, what you need to do is to embody the symbols, the images on the cards. And I love this one because, you know, you need to wear this golden armor. It's like boundaries. It protects you. It makes you more solid, Libras. You know, you need to make some major decisions now about where you're going in your life. You know, Pluto is demanding it. Saturn's demanding it. Chiron is demanding it for you early Libras. This could be issues around family that you're having to deal with, or your mother. This is Cancer-related energy. The number 7 always has to do with the laws of cycles, traditionally related to the 7 planets, the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. So understanding the laws of cycles, things are always, going through this ebb and flow, or, you could call it, are you, in the wave state, or are you solid, So fertility, this could also be a fertility thing. Do you want to make a decision about a family? Do you want to move your home? It's related to your home. So all of these issues, major, you could be having to move because of a relationship. Actually, I've been noticing that with a lot of clients. But basically, get centered. If you're feeling that things are too much, you got to pull yourself in emotionally. It might be good to meditate in water, under the shower, or sitting gazing by water. That would be really good for you. And watch what you eat. Okay, you may need to feed yourself on a much higher, more refined level. Okay, so Libra, you get Cancer, the Chariot. Make sure you're in the driver's seat. Okay, all right, that's a big issue for Libra. So you tend to accommodate everybody else. Okay, so Scorpio. Now, of course, so all the planets are, some of the planets are moving into Scorpio. So we're going into a much more emotional time. And of course, Scorpio gets the card of Scorpio, which is number 13, which is the card of death. Okay, now, when people don't know anything about the tarot and they see this card, this is one of the most scariest cards for them, because everybody in the West is kind of afraid of death. But, death is just part of life, okay? And it's always about change, and life is in constant change and flux, particles, waves, every cell is dying and being reborn all the time. So Scorpio, this is your time, you need to move forward with the deepest, psyche, emotional, good time for therapy, really let go. I feel like there's a critical, not much time left. I feel like, karmically, by the end of this year and the beginning, that January 12th, 2020 date, I feel like that's a real big karmic end date. And so we've all got to work real hard to transform, to let go, to let the old self die, to let the false self die, to really come into our own truth. Okay. So it's about power and how you use it. Old secrets are coming out into the world, and maybe your own too. Okay. So Scorpios, you are the most intense of all the signs. You need to do the work. As you do the work on yourself, you help everybody else as well. So change, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually is the name of the game, Scorpios. Do your work, cut away the past that's no longer serving your higher self. Okay, Scorpio, death. All right, so Sagittarius. Okay, what does Sag get this month? Okay, yeah, Jupiter's moving on up. Okay. So Sagittarians, you get the number 4 card here, which is the card of the Emperor, which is like Aries. Okay, so this is, again, elementally sinking in. It works very nice. So new beginnings, okay? I think you better get a move on, because, again, I just realized Jupiter hasn't got that much longer to be in Sag. This is your big year in 12. I'm a Sag, a double Sag. It's beginning of December when Jupiter enters Capricorn. So move forward, take command, take control. This is about willpower, the king, the emperor. I'm the boss. I run my life, I need to hold the power, that I have. Again, Jupiter squaring Neptune. Again, that's an ongoing energy here. The emperor is the boss. And again, not that Sagittarians have trouble being the boss, but there also can be issues with authority figures, your father, bosses, Jupiter in Sag is, of course, all about the truth. So you need to master your truth. You need to be ethical. I would suggest looking at the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, so you're ethical and honest with your word. You keep your word. Sagittarians are not deceitful. They're just, kind of procrastinators. Okay. So the number 4 has to do with power. It has to do with the 4 elements. So make sure that you're using the 4 elements in everything you do. And it's time to create new beginnings. So maybe envision where you want to be now in 2020, Sagittarius. Okay, number 4, the king, you're the boss, the emperor. Okay. So Capricorns, okay. So Capricorn, all right, Saturn, your ruler is in your sign, and Pluto as well. You have the card number 17, the star. Okay, so the star is the sign of Aquarius, Capricorn, and Saturn traditionally rules both Capricorn and Aquarius. So this is telling you to look forward to the big changes ahead when Saturn and Jupiter meet at their 20-year, great conjunction on December 21st, 2020, and Saturn enters Aquarius. And a lot of astrologers are feeling very optimistic that the Aquarian age is really going to manifest at this time. So again, freeing yourself, Capricorn. Don't be chained to the past. Capricorn can be very traditional, very historical. It is the patriarchy. And this card is showing that, you need to feel connected to a higher purpose. It's a very beautiful card, the star. I usually tell people to go outside at night and choose a star. And as a meditation, you ground yourself into the earth first, and then you imagine you open your chakras, and then through the top of your head, you send your thought out to the cosmos, to a star, a fixed star. Planets don't twinkle, all stars do. And then you send your consciousness out to that star. I mean, you are a star, and every man and woman is a star. That's an ancient saying. And when you go out to that star, you'll have this higher sense of, wow, the earth is just this tiny little blue ball with 8 million people on it. And you ask, what is my higher purpose? What did I come here to do? What did I incarnate into this lifetime? Carnate means meat, the meat wheel, that's Saturn, we're in 3D bodies. So, but I know that I'm more than that. Now that's a hard lesson for Capricorns to be aware of, because they're so focused on the material plane and taking care of business, and they're so responsible. You need to understand that there's also a higher octave, and that's the reason why you're here in the body, is to bring in this higher knowledge. So bringing the higher knowledge down into your heart chakra and out onto the earth. Okay, so Capricorns, higher consciousness, working with groups, organizing, managing, freeing yourself up, revolutionizing the world. Okay, so Capricorn, number 17, you are a star. All right, so now, excuse me, Aquarius. Okay, now that was the card associated with Aquarius. All right, so Aquarius, what do you get here? All right, Aquarius, you get the number 1 card, number 1 symbol, the Magician. And so the Magician is the planet Mercury. So Aquarians, you are an air sign, so naturally you relate to the Magician, Mercury, consciousness. So you need to be the one who initiates, and I think this is already happening. We can see that with that young girl, Greta Thunberg, at the, climate strike, so you need to be the one who initiates the change in consciousness, Aquarius, which is what you came here to do. That's what Aquarius is all about. So be the magician. Realize that every thought you think, consciously and unconsciously, is creating your reality. So use your intentions very wisely. Okay, you're juggling all kinds of possibilities right now. Again, for you, Aquarius, as Jupiter and Saturn have that major conjunction next year, think ahead. Where do you want to be? What do you want to initiate? It's a huge change for you. Okay, brand new 20-year cycle. Okay, so juggling all kinds of new things. It's very good. You're probably excited. You're happy. You can create magic in your life. You create the magic for everybody, for the collective. That's what you're here to serve. So don't be afraid to totally think outside the box. Again, with Uranus, your ruling planet in Taurus, you have to bring that consciousness down into the body, into the earth, and make it practical. It's grassroots, sensuous, it's real. So Aquarius, you are the magicians. Okay. And now we're at Pisces. So finally, okay, we're at the end. All right, so Pisces. Pisces, you dreamers. Okay. So you get the card number 2, Pisces, of the High Priestess, which is also, I feel like all of these cards have been very synchronous. This time, the High Priestess is like the moon, and Pisces is all about dreaming and all night dreaming. It takes place at the moon. And I was outside the other night thinking about the trees dream at night. I don't think I'd ever thought about that before, but trying to tune into what the trees are dreaming. So Pisces, this is about balance. The number 2 is about balance. It's about duality. It's about, you are needing to hold that space, that liminal space between the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, the rational and the intuitive. And it also gives you a lot of strength. The High Priestess is related to the symbol of the camel, which can retain water, and water is emotion. So it gives you the emotional strength to go for long distances without any support. Now, it's also very much, the High Priestess always tells you to pay attention to your dreams. And as you're the great dreamers anyway, Pisces, you might be tuning into the collective dreams. So really pay attention to that. Really learn to understand how much of it is my personal dream, feedback of my body, prescient dreams, future dreams, collective dreams, where am I tuning into? So really be aware of where your emotional state is. What is it you're turning into, you know? And then you have the ability to be the mediator here. Okay, so it's very important with Neptune in your sign that you do tune in, that you may be feeling kind of, you know, I'm waiting, I'm behind the scenes right now. The High Priestess is very beautiful. So pay attention as well to the moon cycles. You know, it's a good time for you to do ceremony on the full moon, on the new moon, especially, well, on both, on the new moon and the full moon this time. Pay attention to your dreams, your wants, needs, desires out there. Convene with other women, other dreamers as well. Talk about your dreams and, you know, be strong in yourself. Okay. All right. So Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans, everyone out there who's watched, this is Tara Green in Sedona, Arizona. I wish you a wonderful October until next month. Blessings. And go see my website, taratarot.com.